Before conducting any maintenance on the appliance, be sure that you unplug its power cord and that you allow the stove or insert to completely cool. The extra large capacity ash pan on the NPS45 pellet stove means you can run the stove longer before having to clean out the ashes. Remember to pour the ashes into a non-combustible container and store in a safe location until they're completely cool. The NPI45 insert has no ash pan, so the firebox must be vacuumed out regularly. If the glass is not kept clean, permanent discoloration and/or blemishes may result. Clean the glass door using a non-ammonia-based glass cleaner sold by your local dealer. Wipe off any fingerprints or other marks on the plated surfaces. To prevent permanent marks on the surface, use a non-abrasive cleaning solvent appropriate to the finish of the plated part on the appliance as recommended by your dealer. The frequency of the following schedule may vary depending on how often the stove is used. Clean the heat exchange tubes every day to maximize the amount of heat transferred into your room. With the heater cool or wearing heat-resistant gloves, slide the heat exchange cleaner rod in and out several times to remove any buildup of ash. Open both of the side panels, then release the two latches on the right side of the door and disengage the hooks from the door frame. It is important to keep the firebox clean of any ash buildup. With the heater cool, open the door and brush away any loose ash on the burn pot. Remove the burn pot, followed by the right and left louvers. Use a brush or vacuum to clean the ash. Make certain that all openings are clear of any ash buildup. Remove any ash on the ledge below the burn pot. Vacuum or brush out the firebox, air housing, and the opening at the top of the exhaust manifold. Once this is completed, replace the louvers and burn pot, making certain the locating notch lines up with the igniter. Also, remember to check and clean out the ash pan as required. To prevent dust and pellet debris from collecting in the hopper, run the appliance until the pellets in the hopper have all been consumed. Once the appliance has cooled, vacuum out the hopper. Until you're familiar with how your appliance is performing, we recommend inspecting and cleaning the exhaust system at regular intervals. Remove the 6 nuts securing the exhaust blower and remove the motor. Discard the existing blower gasket and disconnect the 2 wires from the motor. Clean off the impeller blades using a soft brush and vacuum out the blower housing. Install a new blower gasket before reinstalling the blower. Remove any porcelain or brick panels that have been installed. Remove the exhaust port doors and vacuum out the exhaust ports, removing as much ash as possible from both sides. When clean, replace the exhaust port doors. Clean the exhaust blower and vent system at least once each year to prevent damage to the blower or blockages in the vent. Clean the exhaust tube by feeding a brush or rag through the inside of the tube and out the exhaust blower housing. Brush, then vacuum the exhaust ports, blower housing, and the blades of the exhaust blower. Carefully place the new blower mounting gasket around the opening and reinstall the blower and access panel. To access the exhaust blower on the insert, pull the insert out from the fireplace cavity and disconnect the venting from the exhaust collar. If installed as a top vent, remove the cover plate from the rear of the housing. If installed as a rear vent, remove the cover plate from the top of the housing. Vacuum the housing back to the blower outlet. Inspect the rest of the vent system and have it cleaned as required. This should be performed by a qualified chimney sweep. After cleaning and reassembling the vent components, the joints must be resealed with RTV silicone, rated to at least 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Check the seals of the appliance to ensure they're intact. Check for air leaks around the door, glass and burn pot, and ash pan. Test the door and ash pan seal by using a piece of paper in various locations. If the paper readily slides out, it indicates a poor seal. Inspect the gasket and replace as required.